Good evening, everybody. Today's video will be about different ways to strum the uke. I haven't really counted how many ways I'll go over today. I'm just gonna count them up when the video is over and then put them in the title of the video. And when it comes to strumming, there are two rules of thumb, pun intended. And that is, if you want a soft sound, you use the pad of the finger. And if you want a hard sound, a louder sound, you use the nail. So it can be the side of the nail and with the pad of the finger. So with the pad of the finger, again, you get that mellow, almost muted but not quite sound. And with the nail, you get more crisp, loud sound out of that. So I'm going to structure the video by going over the different strumming patterns, starting with what I think are the easiest, and then getting progressively harder as the video goes on. And the first strumming technique will be just using your thumb. Very simple. When I first learned uke years ago, this was the way I first started to play. And it's very simple. You just have your hand secured somewhere on the uke, and then you just strum down with your thumb. The thumb is the most complex finger in human anatomy. It has the most muscles going to it. You have the most control over it. So you can actually combine strumming with finger picking just using this one finger. But it's also very easy for beginners to play because it's natural, very easy to get into. Now, second type will be, I don't know what to call this, to be honest, but when you watch a lot of uke videos for beginners, they talk about up-down strumming. So that's what I'm going to call this, is the up-down, up-down. And when people start learning this technique, they teach you to pivot your wrist, or you can also move your arm up and down on a joint. And usually you're using the side of your finger, so you're hitting with the nail, creating that crisp, loud sound. It's a good song that has this. Most songs, again, will use this as a beginner way of strumming the song. So this is it's a song, Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And the pattern for this is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. But there are different ways you can combine up and down strumming. For example, this up, down, or all up, or all down, so on and so on. And you can also use, again, the pads, in this case of my index and thumb, if you want that soft, mellow sound. So that's the second type. Next is chunking. So the goal with chunking is to mute the string with the palm of your hand. So you're hitting and then muting with the palm of your hand. So that's chunking. Next is, I guess, island strum, which is very famous in Brother Iz's Somewhere the Rainbow. So it's a combination of chunking, picking, and strumming all at once. So first you're picking. So in this case I'm picking the C and E strings. So it's pick, down, up, chunk. So slowing it down. So the island strum. Next, rolling. I'm calling this the rolling strum, but so with this you strum. You also toss in these rolls of your fingers. So this is the motion of your fingers, kind of like, almost like a jazz hand. As you open up your fingers, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you practice that 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you kind of sprinkle it in your strumming patterns to make the song sound a little bit cooler. So that's what I call the roll strum. Next is the triple strum. So for that, you need to use your thumb and index finger. And the pattern is down, index, down, thumb, up, index. Down, down, up. That's where the triple part comes in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So far I think that's the hardest of the techniques because of how awkward it can be to get that motion down. So that's triple strum. And what else was there? So this is the last type I'll go over today. It's all I can think of at the moment. But this one involves using both hands to get the sound that you want. And the idea is you strum however you want to strum. The important part is that you lift your fingers off your fret hand to mute, to basically shorten the sound. So for example, I'm taking a bar C major chord, and the sound will last for a long time, you know, as long as the ukulele will allow it to. But say I want to shorten that, long sound to staccato. So we'll call this the staccato strum. Even though it's not really a strumming technique, because the technique is in the left hand, the fret hand. When you strum, you want to lift your fingers off your fret hand to stop that sound right at that moment. So now I let go, the sound goes away. This is a G major chord. That's without pulling my fingers off. So that sound is there. It stays there until it dies off on its own. But if I wanted to stop, I just take my fingers off. You just take all the pressure off the strings and just kind of touch the strings. Like you're muting the string, for example. Because when you mute strings, all you gotta do is just touch. Don't put pressure on strings, but just touch them. And the strings are muted. But if you're strumming a chord, you just, again, take the pressure off your fingers here, touch the strings, and the sound will stop right there. So that covered both, I guess, the staccato and the muting in one section. And honestly, that's all I can think of right now. If there are any other strumming techniques you guys know of that you can tell me about, please comment and let me know. Because I'm always learning to expand on my ukulele repertoire. So I'd appreciate anything you guys can offer me. If you have any questions or anything you want to add, feedback, please let me know. And if you have any requests for other topics to cover in future videos, again, let me know as well. So take care, guys, and happy playing.